Greetings, citizens of the Imperium. Woo! Welcome to Let's Paint. I am your host, Trooper 6, and we are continuing with the Retributors. So, like I said before, we're going to take this Martian Iron Earth, and we are going to thinly paint this base. Now, this stuff will dry and crack to make it look like an arid wasteland, right? But I have messed around with it enough to tell you that if you spread this thin enough, it will not crack when it dries. And you will be left with this fantastic Martian red coloring. And even if it cracks in a couple of places, guess what? It'll probably just add to it. Oops. So that's all you've really got to do with it is know what you're working with. Any of your paints that you have, any of the technicals, say you really like that coloring, but you're like, damn, I really don't want the effect that it gives me. Mess around with it. Maybe it just needs to be stretched, sort of thin, you know, like paper. Paper? No. Only an idiot would say paper. Not like tissue paper. Wait. What are you on about? I don't know. No, not tissue paper. No. Butter. There it is. Like butter scraped over too much peanut butter. Alright, now you're just fucking with people, okay? Yeah. I'm sorry, folks. I didn't mean to fuck with you too much. I really don't know why any of that started, but if anybody has any ideas, I don't know. I probably won't entertain it anyway. So, what do we got left to do after this, folks? What do you say to a little dry brushing? Now, when I say dry brushing, what are we going to be dry brushing? We would use ash gray, right? Going to use some ash gray to highlight this uniform gray, because I guarantee you, more or less, this flat primer is just the same as this uniform gray. I have used the uniform gray to patch up certain spots. The ash gray, of course, as you can already see, is a lot lighter. So you are naturally going to dry brush with that gray. It will lighten a lot of things up. And then you would edge highlight with our good friend Mummy Robes. And that's all you really need to do. But before we do all that, we want to make sure some other things are painted. And whoa. We are going to change the music real quick. So, music update for anyone curious out there. Your trooper, love fish. That's right. It's not even a guilty pleasure of mine. Yeah. It's, I love fish. And they're fantastic. I actually did a commission piece inspired by fish. A friend of mine wanted... he wanted to gift his friend a 40K miniature. And the guy plays Leagues of Votan. So he was like, hey, do you think you could do that for me? And I was like, honestly, I don't know. I've never done it before. I've never done Leagues of Votan. But you know what? Space Dwarves. Those who know, friggin' love Space Dwarves. Actually, I just love dwarves. And of course, space dwarves go into that category. Do we need the skull paint for anything? I'm going to say no. However, sorry, we're having a brain fart. Having a brain fart. Having a brain fart. Get out of my fart. Because we're having a brain fart. Alright, so, woo! We opened that up upside down. Don't worry, paintbrushes just went everywhere. Alright, dry brush. Dry brush. Back to dry brush. Hammer to dry brush. Now, the dry brushing is, way less accurate than edge highlighting, but we're still going to approach this in a careful-ish manner. All right. You're still gonna do your thing. Gonna let that gray catch a lot of stuff. Not too much. It's okay for it to catch the soft parts. You're gonna want it. But you can see that this, maybe you can't see. You could see that this is lightening up the entire model itself. Of course, because you're adding a lighter gray. The thing is, woohoo! My bad. Wasn't paying attention to my finger placement. Thing is, lightening all this up definitely helps because it will bring up for the brighter metallics that we had to use. But also, it doesn't make the model so dreary. I don't know if anybody's concerned about that, but we weren't going necessarily for a grim, dark vibe here. We could. We really, really could. You would take a pretty model and you would dirty it so far, it just wouldn't be pretty anymore. But see, that's all we're doing with this gray. You're just dry brushing the entire model, basically. All right, you're lightening up all the gray. Whoops. The backpack will be a little tricky. That's okay. Doesn't need to be the best at the moment because we're going to come back in here and edge highlight that fun stuff. And that will really bring the model to life. As you can see, it's already picking up, of course, on the edges. But that lighter gray is also getting in just for the armor in general. And it is starting to brighten up all of the gray that we have. And I haven't forgotten about the melee arm. I didn't paint that skull yet. I haven't finished with the with the hammer. I am aware. I haven't forgotten. We've just been going all over the place with this because why not? Sometimes it's better to ride it than to fight it. All right. So, with basic dry brushing out of the way, you can already see that the base here is basically red. And we'll take some moon dust to it later. And it should work. You know what? No. I got one better for you. We're going to take some skeleton bone to it. That'll be a interesting off kind of color to do. But before we get to all that, all right, let's get out our mummy robes. Enough foreplay. Let's fuck. Ooh, my God, my stomach. I don't know if you guys heard that on the... Oh. Yeah, I don't know if you had heard that, but stomach, I forgot, is empty. And we've been at this since roughly 7-ish, probably closer to 8. I don't know. It's working on 11 or 12, something right now. I don't know. I'm not that worried about it. If you guys also want to know when exactly this is being painted, I can tell you that it is New Year's Eve right now. The only reason I know that is because when I was taking my little break, I overheard it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, right. That is today, isn't it?" All I know is that I'm off work, and I don't really care that it's the holiday. I'm sure, like many of you, the new year doesn't mean anything anymore because as cynical as it sounds, like nothing changes. Nothing fucking changes. So I have a hard time celebrating the new year. Of course, I want things to change, but that is up to you. That is up to all of us to actually make sure that that change happens. You can't want the change, then not put forth the effort to do the change, then bitch about the fact that the change didn't happen. It just doesn't work that way. But we are working on making that change, aren't we? We're right here. I'm sitting here with all of you. It has been so fun. It's been so fun doing all this and hanging out and painting, showing, sharing, laughing. Hopefully you've been laughing. I've had some interesting laughs on here. Had some interesting challenges along the way. On and off the camera. I think most people, not even just men, I think most people struggle with a purpose. A purpose in life. A purpose to live. And I can tell you, even as a parent, yes, that is my purpose that is now my purpose to raise the best human being that I think I could possibly do. But I mean, there's still the selfish aspect of it, of what about me? Yes, I'm here to raise my child and set them forth on their adventure and their path, and hopefully I've given them enough tools and guidance to where I wouldn't have to worry about them. But what about me, dude? There's still things I want to do. And I think anybody would tell you, just because you have children does not mean that your life and your journey is now forfeit and over. My old roommate, unfortunately, had that kind of mindset. He said, basically, once you have kids, that's it. Your life's over. Everything now is for that child. And I was like, yes, in a way. Of course, everything is for that child. But damn, dude, that doesn't mean your life is over. No. That's not how that works. I think if you were to tell anybody that these days, then I wouldn't be shocked that there's a birth rate decline. I'm like, well, yeah, you're telling all these people that you've been telling all their life to follow their dreams. But if you tell them that having children and your life is over, of course they're not going to want to have fucking kids. Despite the fact that they can't even afford this shit. But I don't know, that's all lifestyle kind of choices. Where there's a will, there's a way. But look at him. Look at him. Not too shabby, huh? Not too shabby. All right, we got the other limbs to do here. I think anytime a new year comes up, people, they really do start to reflect and look back. I think most people would, just because it's expected and they're just doing it. I'm not sure if people are really comprehending when they're thinking about the past. If you're really looking at your choices and really comprehending how you got here, instead of just looking back in this kind of I want to say fake in a way. I don't know, looking but not listening, or looking but not seeing. Hearing but not listening. It's just. I don't know, man. It gets to be something these days. That's for sure. As vague and, I guess, neutral as that might sound, it sure does get to be something. But we've got other things to worry about right now, don't we? We've got this Retributor. We're not here to discuss the world and give in to our anxieties. That's why we do this stuff, isn't it? To get away. To make the voices stop. As I already kind of gave you guys some insight, this doesn't really silence much of the voice. All the screaming in the head and all that other shit. It doesn't really do that. Not for me, and that's okay. All right. It's not going to do that for everyone. Where did that mummy rope? Okay. Because we're running out of mummy rope here. And it is very tempting to leave. Wow. It is very tempting to leave the helmet and the other pauldron alone, but we are, I swear, we are going to employ the black edge highlighting. We are going to do that. We're going to bring that back because it was looking so good. This edge highlighting has not been our best work. I think my head has been just way too distracted. Yeah, I apologize if I do seem all over the place lately, or if I don't seem, I guess, like myself. It's been a very trying time, and I'm also not really trying to make excuses for myself. It's just been an interesting time. And let's skip. All right, still got fish going. Because honestly, that is something I can turn on and let go and go, because it's fish. And it's amazing work. Anybody who says fish is not good, well, that's okay. You're allowed to say that, right? Because I'm going to flat out say that things aren't good, and you can't convince me otherwise. One of those things where I know the music's good, but I do not like them is like Dave Matthews. They are his band. Him and his band are absolutely top class musicians. They are fantastic, but they really are not my cup of tea. I just can't do it. I just can't. So, all right. I believe that makes dry brushing that completed, we're forgetting about our trusty little thing here. All right. We're at now 2040-ish, something like that, which means we still have some more to do. We need to hit the white on the helmet. We need to hit some more white on the helmet. We need to do the edge highlighting. We still need to do some bronze, and we need to do the base. So I will see you guys on the next round. May the Void Father guide your brush. Take it easy.